Welcome to
Every Day is Macaroni.
I'm Joy Alfred Brand.
And I'm Juliet Connell. And we're the hosts of Everyday Macaroni, the podcast.
This podcast is a look at the lighter side of life, where we talk about our adventures as a modern blended family.
So sit back, relax,
and prepare to have your funny bone tickled. Hello, listeners. Boy, do we have a super fun episode for you today. But before we get started, if you're watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to give it a like, a share, and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. That helps us create more fun content like this for you, our one and only listener. And for those of you who are new here, these episodes are based on the recordings of the weekly dinners I have with my husband, Ron, his sister, Juliet, who is also a co-host of the podcast, and their 80-year-old parents, Al and Lita. It's that time of year again. Yep. Listener, welcome to our 2024 Valentine's Day special. And boy, is it a good one. In this episode, we're talking all about love macaroni style. And if you don't get that reference, you'll need to do some Googling pronto, because that show and its theme song are a classic. Now, are you ready for a deep dive discussion on love, relationships, and marriage? I hope so, because we're going to jump into this year's Valentine's Day special that we know you're going to love as much as we do. Enjoy! We did spend a lot of time on Monday talking about marriage because of this very thing. Mm-hmm. Because one thing that your mother is not shy talking about is she has no problem weighing in on situations that we discuss at Monday Night Family Dinner, regardless of her depth of knowledge, regardless of whether or not she has any kind of real world experience.
Which is good on some sort of level, because she doesn't feel judged.
Well,
and that's always good for everybody, because if you don't feel judged, then at least you're giving your honest opinion. Which is what brings a little humor into some of these serious topics.
Arguably, that is true. Arguably. But at the same time, I mean, let's have some perspective. I mean, perspective is important in general. It is one of those things where it's easy for you to sit in your upholstered chair, eating your incinerated pork chop, and have some kind of opinion about something that I don't know you 100% have real world experience with.
Right.
And so it was kind of entertaining to hear her kind of try to weigh in, and then we get this.
And thinking of, all of a sudden, I want to marry her. That marriage, he should know. Marriage is, you have to make sure that you marry the right person.
Because it's for life.
Or if not, you could be in hell.
Which for him was about to be just the remaining 15 minutes, because he was about to get it. Okay, so in that little clip where she's talking about, oh, you got to make sure our marriage is for life, did you hear your dad? Your dad was like, yeah, I know. Yes.
I know.
Mm-hmm. And then the conversation about marriage continued to unfold. And we talked about marriage just generally. And your parents had an experience with it that I never knew. And what are you looking at? You're not paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
No. What's happening there is your parents start kind of going down that rabbit hole of marriage, and we start talking about marriage in Uruguay versus Argentina. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Entertaining. So you got to hear this.
Which is odd. I never heard of that before.
You never heard of what?
No, I've never heard of when you get married in a particular place and you have to follow the guidelines there, and they don't necessarily follow the guidelines of the other country that you're going to. I always thought the country that you're currently residing in held the law that you were governed by at that particular time. And if you didn't like that, then you had to move to whatever country held those laws. I mean, just because you were married, well, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's listen
roll
to
a
the
clip.
tape
You gotta
and then I'll
hear
talk
this.
about
Yeah.
it.
They got actually they went didn't marry in Argentina. They went they got married in Uruguay.
Yeah.
Because in Argentina there was no divorce, but in Uruguay,
Yeah.
that's not
Just in
getting-
case.
That's a good way to start a wedding or
never
a marriage.
know. You never know.
Well, let's not get married here, because just in case it doesn't work.
Don't get-
That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what
They got married in Uruguay in case they decided they'd have to get divorced someday. But what difference does that make? So if you were married in Uruguay and then go back to Argentina where there's no divorce, what
No,
difference
it's
does that
divorce
make?
here because you are married in another country
Yeah.
already.
You didn't marry in Argentina. You got married
Yeah.
where it was allowed the divorce.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, this
No,
doesn't make
it's
sense
not.
to me.
That's the way it is.
See, is that not make sense?
That's the way it is.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't
what's going
either
on there?
because okay, so you marry in Uruguay, right, where there is divorce available for those that are seeking divorce, right? But you get married there, but then you go back to Argentina where they do not believe in divorce. And they're going to let you divorce in Argentina
you were not
were married in Uruguay. That doesn't make sense to me because how would that be?
So for me, from a legal perspective,
Yeah.
what they're doing is they're applying the rule of law from the jurisdiction where you got married.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
Which is odd. I mean, granted, it's a different country or two different countries, but I just find that to be strange.
Well-
and I find it to be strange that you would start a marriage thinking, hey, guys, look, if this doesn't work out, why don't we just go to Uruguay where they believe in divorce and we'll get married there? And just in case this doesn't work out, we can get a divorce.
That's pre-planning. That's
Which is great on their part, I guess.
I don't know.
It's like a prenup. You're like, if this doesn't work out,
Did you?
we can get out of it. If we only were to marry in Uruguay.
Did you hear how your mother talked about? She called it a prenatural instead of a prenuptial. Oh, it's in there somewhere. Wait a minute. Now I have to find that clip. In just a minute. Okay. So I have to find that in a minute. Okay. Let's see.
Prenatural. Is that like a vampire?
That would that be
Preternatural?
preternatural? Okay, let me see if I can find that part of the clip.
What
No,
difference
it's
does that
divorce
make?
here because you are married in another country
Yeah.
already.
You didn't marry in Argentina. You got married
Yeah.
where it was allowed the divorce.
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, it's not.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is.
A lot of people from Argentina came to Uruguay.
That's just
to
the way
get
it
married.
is.
Yeah.
So
Some
they could
things will
plan
never
for
change.
divorce maybe
They
later.
also
No, but
had
you have
options. Let's call them
to, you figure it out. They say, well, if the things go wrong, right?
Like who starts off?
It's like in
Yeah.
Spain, it was the same
It's like a
thing.
prenuptial.
You marry and that's it.
Yeah, prenuptial. There you go.
Prenatural. Prenuptial agreement. Prenatural. I love it.
Prenatural.
It's prenatural. I gotta say, as a lawyer sitting there during these in-depth conversations about whatever, it's always entertaining to me to hear just the commentary about the law and it's always entertaining.
God.
I never get bored
Well,
listening
you
to it.
know, you doctors and lawyers are only practicing.
Oh,
Okay.
for real.
So-
Talking about doctors practicing. Okay, this
You're
is
practicing on human beings, people.
this is a segue into the next, in my opinion, most important part of Monday's dinner. Okay, when you know what I'm going to talk about. You know what I'm going to talk about? No, I'm going to talk about Carlos and the testicle.
Oh my God.
You know I have to do it. I have to do it.
That's not
We
good.
have to talk about it. We have to. I know this is a family show. testicle is not a dirty word.
We have to talk about it.
Neither is orniectomy.
What's an orniectomy?
What we're about to talk about.
How do you know what that is, Juliet?
Because I'm the go-to when things go awry with your insurance in our family.
What does that mean?
I've always helped out when a claim goes in for something that someone in the family has done, and we needed to get paid.
Okay.
So, here it comes.
Wait, no. Okay. What do you mean someone's done something and they need to get paid? What does that mean?
I worked for insurance for a long time, and anyone in the family that has done something that's having a hard time getting it paid or getting it authorized or just going through insurance claims and EOBs and things like that, and it can get overwhelming for people. So I have pretty much heard every single medical issue that any one of our family members have gone through.
Insurance is a drag. It is. It just is. And so you know about this particular procedure
about this particular procedure because Carlos came to me and they have a hard time with English. So they explained to me what was going on and that I had to talk to the doctor, and then I had to call the insurance company for this so-called orniectomy. And
it's not funny, but it is.
No, and try to get this thing paid for, because although sanctioned by the physician,
technically this was an elective surgery.
This was an elective surgery for the most part. Yeah. So, roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, so before we get into it, who is Carlos?
Carlos is a really dear friend of my parents. So Carlos and
friend
Irma,
of the family.
Right. They've known each other since before I was born. They met in California when my parents were out there, and they were dear friends that they decided to move in with my parents here in North Carolina. And Carlos had some medical issues that he needed to take care of that required my help to try to get covered.
Your insurance expertise. All right, so let's roll this footage.
Yeah.
Buckle in, listener, because this one
Listen carefully.
I got nothing other than this.
know.
You're not going to believe it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
How bad?
Spouse.
Could be your testicle.
He was suffering for a long time. Because when we went to
Suffering for
He lay back there and he got
California,
laying in the bed.
we
Oh, my
took him to
testicle!
the doctor already in California.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was when it happens. When you get older, you do crazy things because your head is not right.
Yeah.
Like Carlos, when Carlos had his testicle removed. Same thing, right?
Wait a minute. I'm not sure I remember all that scenario.
She had a pain, and they didn't know what it was. So the doctor said, probably it's one of your testicles, or something like that. He says, take it off.
And they said
Because
that
the pain was more than having a testicle.
Okay.
So they remove it.
Well, at that age, he's not
And
going to
then
use it anyway.
they find out that it was what it was.
I don't remember.
But it wasn't the testicle.
They said it was the flu. They said he had a cavity.
I don't remember what it was.
Wow, you guys are terrible.
I think you have a cavity. Check my left one, would you?
Oh my God.
So, let me get this straight. He had a little pain somewhere, and the
There was
doctor
a lot of pain. That's why.
No, he was
did
in a
it.
lot of pain.
says this pain is coming from your testicle.
It came, didn't, the doctor itself
Maybe.
didn't know
Not for sure.
exactly if it was that.
We don't know exactly.
They didn't find nothing. So
Doctor says
They
it's a
assumed
testicle.
that they were not. So, I don't know.
And so, okay.
Okay. All right.
So what happened is Carlos was in quite a bit of pain, right?
Apparently.
And it was in his abdomen. Right. So the pain was in his abdomen and he was complaining. And those out there, those listeners that have pain in their abdomen, just like in your mouth when it's a particular tooth, you can't narrow it down to a specific tooth.
No.
You can't narrow down abdomen pain to a particular
all
left
you men
or
out
right.
there, you know that you're not going to let them just randomly take off your testicle. No.
I would imagine that they don't. But once you hit 80 and they're no longer of use, I'm guessing.
I don't know, man.
I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I don't have one, so I don't know.
Well.
But he felt very strongly that the pain was coming from a testicle. And he
just take it off.
told the doctor
Just take it out.
that
Take it off.
if that was the case, that he didn't need it any longer. And that was okay. So the doctor was like, all right, we'll go ahead
It's like a skin tag.
Perform the orniectomy.
Take it off. It's like a skin tag. Just.
And they took it off, and he came out of anesthetic and whatnot.
And the pain was
a
still
little
there.
later, his pain was still there.
Right.
So check.
It's not funny, but
check.
it is, you know?
It's not the testicle. Check.
It's my testicle. No, clearly it's not. I've had it removed, so it can't be the testicle.
So anyway, my job in this whole ordeal was to get that paid for. Where it went from this point on, I have no idea.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just keep listening and see. Just let's keep going.
And he has the pain was so hard. I mean, a lot of pain.
A lot of pain.
And he says, no, I don't care. Just take him off.
And they replaced it with a ping pong ball.
So he actually had the testicle removed.
Yeah, he says, anyway, I don't use it.
Oh my
Irma
God.
wanted both of them.
Oh my God.
And she wanted to make earrings out of them.
In this case, she only got a
All
necklace.
natural.
That way she could say, I have them,
Bye.
Oh my God. So they just
Your mother's laughing.
removed a single testicle,
Just one.
and the pain did not go away.
Just one.
Right.
One of each.
Right.
He kept having
But
pain.
no, they find out when they operate him, and I think it was, I don't know, something on the joint or something like that. The cartilage or something in
He had a
one
bone
of
spur
the
in
joints
his
or
hip.
something. And naturally, if you lose the cartilage, both bones
Rub
move
against
in
each
there,
other.
right? Each other, and it's a lot of pain.
So right there, what he's talking about is the hip joint.
Right. He's talking about the hip.
Yeah, like the hip joint, the cartilage is gone, so he's having pain because there's that bone on bone.
All I'm going to say is about this whole crazy thing is the only thing I've learned is that guys are not very specific. They cannot deal with pain whatsoever. And there's a pain in my pelvis somewhere in the middle of my body. Take it off. 'Cause
So much so
if you
that
have
I'm willing to
pain,
sacrifice a testicle. Something is random and it hurts. Take off the testicle.
it's just hanging there. I
Go
don't
ahead.
use it.
I don't need
Go
it.
ahead and take that. Oh, wait. It's the hip?
Whoops.
Wait a minute.
That's okay.
That's okay. I have another testicle.
That's right. I have two, right? Wait, but there's more. Wait, there's more.
And they couldn't tell that before they removed the testicle?
No,
I think he opted to do it no matter what he just said.
I made a decision.
yeah, he
Take it off.
appreciated it. I mean, he says, no, go ahead.
Go ahead. Take it off. I don't need a
So
testicle.
the doctor did it.
It's like
Doctor.
kidneys. I have
He's
two.
like-
He were more skeptical. He said, "Hey, wait a minute. Let's wait and see."
Well,
But he didn't.
how old was he?
And let's be honest, it wasn't a doctor, it was the vet.
What it was, 80 years old or something? 80
Oh,
something?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
something.
Irma said, I want him neutered. So they took him to the vet. The vet said, look, for a little bit more, we can put nudicles in. And Irma said, no. No, why bother? And he actually wanted them replaced, he said, with
No, they
with
only
brass.
took they. Oh my God!
No, why not go?
You want to
But
replace
Irma
the
said, no,
brass.
that's way too much money.
But they only took one out, right? They didn't take both.
No.
They kept the one.
Wow.
It was-
But then after he had the surgery, he was okay.
Yeah.
so then
He
it
had
was
no
the-
more pain.
No,
wasn't
because when they did the operation, I don't know exactly. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
They find what
Was
it
it a
really
hernia?
was.
Instead
A
of,
hernia?
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a hernia. And when they did that, then maybe they fixed the hernia.
I
Okay,
think when they went in and they removed the testicle,
Okay.
they go, oh, it's actually a hernia.
Yeah,
and
but
then they
a
fixed it.
hernia, the
Whoops.
doctor will know if it is a
Yeah.
Well,
hernia.
But okay.
he would, but it,
Okay. So. It's not
Oh
funny.
my god! This whole entire, I don't know. This whole entire thing is a spectacle.
Oh my god.
One, that he thought it was his testicle. Two, that a doctor would be willing to go to the
I mean, I guess the
extreme.
doctor was like, "Hey, he's in his 80s. What difference does that make?"
Yeah, I know, but what doctor is out there that decides to perform this? Hey, I'm going to take your testicle. No big deal. I'm just going to take it and then I'll bill you for it and we'll be done with it.
But where's the harm for the doctor? I mean, you're talking about an 80-something-year-old man.
There's no harm for the doctor, but utilization for an insurance company, I would imagine that
But it
how
could
many
have solved his pain. It could have.
How many times does that come over your desk going, oh, I'm a utilization review nurse and I'm looking at an orniectomy. God, I haven't seen one of these in 7-8 years and there's no cancer present. There's nothing. I don't understand why this was performed. But I guess I'll pay for it. I don't know. Oh, patient was fully aware and was demanding of the surgery. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, well, as far as I'm concerned, I guess if it had solved his pain, then
Yeah, I mean, if it had solved his pain, then that's fine. And I understand that
it happens.
It does. It does happen, especially if pain is involved and how acute it is. People are willing to go through whatever,
I guess.
to get it to stop. But
Sure.
Oh, my
and this is
goodness.
the extreme example of that. If you could take off my testicle and it makes me feel better, then please take off my testicle. Remove it.
yeah,
I would like
just
that extra-
imagine how this conversation went when he asked me to help him pay for his insurance.
I couldn't even
pay
guess.
For
I
for this
could
whole
not
thing.
even guess. I have no idea. I can.
Yeah. And have him explain to me in Spanish how this all went down. I was like,
I could not even guess. I have no idea. And then you got to talk to the insurance people, right?
Yeah.
Like, please explain to the insurance people why I needed to have my testicle removed, even though there's no actual evidence that the issue is coming from my testicle. Yes. But, God bless people for being entertaining, because wherever you are, Carlos, I hope your remaining testicle is feeling fine. I really do. Good luck with you and your testicle. Well, listener, stop the presses. It's time to do a fact check because we need to take a moment to discuss this procedure. First of all, it's called an orchiectomy, not an orniectomy, which technically would be the surgical removal of a birdwatcher since ornithology is the study of birds. I'm just saying. Second, how about that for questionable decision making? Got a pain in your midsection? Why not have your testicle removed? Seems like sound reasoning to me. And anyway, word on the street was that he didn't need them anymore. So, why not? Wink, wink. I just thought it was kind of funny to include a discussion about testicle removal in our Valentine's Day special. It seemed appropriate, and you're welcome. We now return to our podcast episode that is already in progress with some fun relationship advice from Juliet.
Well, you know what? When you get to be my age, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking about
your
this.
Age, you're not that much older than me.
No, I know. 54, right? But I had the pleasure of talking to Caitlin, and one of her friends were over yesterday. And we were going back and forth, and they were having girl talk, and we were going to sit down and watch the Barbie movie together and a whole bit, right? So I had just come in on the conversation that she had broken up with her boyfriend, and it took her about 2 years to come to the conclusion. And I was like, okay. And it kind of got me thinking. And I was like, I've known her for forever, right? Her friend. And I said, girl, you seem so smart. And, we were kind of lighthearted and laughing, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, the funny thing is that you just made me think about when I was younger and your age, and you're in high school and college age. And then I started thinking about how I am, or how I was, and now how I am, right? And your kids only ever know you for who you are probably when they are in high school, because that's really when they're starting to pay attention to who you are and what you say. And my girls know me as, oh yeah, mom really doesn't like scary movies and
or snakes.
She's right,
or peppers and onions.
Is very formal, or she's this or she's that, right? Mm-hmm. She loves this but not that. And sometimes I kind of chuckle and laugh because I'm like, if they only saw me in high school, you get into a football game over in New Jersey, right, at the stadium, the Giant Stadium, which it was back then, stuff like that, right?
Juliet,
I know.
You're a criminal.
Well, And it just made me think of who I am and how you morph, right, to the person
into
you are
a
today, right? That's right. I got a speeding ticket, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to talk
hospital.
about that
but anyway,
in a little while.
But I had said to the girl, you know what? You just got to ka-cha, right? You are young. It shouldn't take you 2 years to say, hey, the person I'm currently dating, I'm already starting to doubt that this is going to go long term and blah, blah, blah. I said, you just ka-cha,
ka-cha.
When I was her age, right?
Don't you mean hi-ya?
No, the ka-cha, right?
The judo chop.
Ken and I, we've dated for forever, right? But it doesn't mean that there wasn't a continuous dating right there. Mm-hmm. We had...
you gave him the old ka-cha, didn't you?
I did. No, there was a point
Weren't
where
you like
we
12,
just
though?
No, it was more like 16 or something like that. And then we broke up. And then we tried it again a year later, dated longer, but then the same thing, we broke up. And then the last time we dated, we were more mature, blah, blah, blah. But what I came up with was that it's almost like you go from full circle, right? From life, you're this baby, you get older, now you're a teen, now you're becoming more mature, you now have to be responsible, now you might have kids, then those kids grow up, you're now into empty nester or whatever, and then of course you're getting older, you slowly start to look like what you did before. It's almost like a Benjamin Buttons thing, but but not, right? Because I told her, I said, oh no, when I was younger, I was very, I don't take that. I was very mouthy, spoke my mind right away when I was younger. And as I got older...
You become more diplomatic because you have to.
I did.
You got to be out in the world.
A lot more diplomatic.
You have to be out in the world.
Right.
Taking care of business with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
And then... as you get older,
you go right back to being mouthy.
I feel like I'm just as mouthy as I was when I was in middle school. You know what I mean? You're like, hey. Did you just hurt her? I'm sorry. That's not. No.
But you worked at a high school where your back sort of in that mentality where you're mothering people.
I don't know, but you have that light bulb moment. You know that everyone's always laughing at, oh yeah, you start out in diapers, you end up in diapers. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, ha ha ha.
Yeah, just ask your mother. Yeah.
But then that middle section too, you really, like you said, you become so diplomatic right there in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and then you start hitting 50 and you're just like,
I don't have time for this crap.
Yeah, I don't have time, right?
Yeah.
I got things to do, places to go.
I don't have time for your mess. Yeah.
Come up with a plan or zip it. Because you're just like, no, you're wasting my time.
Right. I don't have time for this mess.
So
Move it along.
was very funny to just all of a sudden be like, wait, hold on a minute.
2 years to figure out that he's not the guy for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes the heart wants what the heart wants, but
yeah, and I think too, if you're a really nice person, you're very, very hopeful. Like a hopeful person, then you make excuses for why you need to stay with this person or whatever it may be.
I gave him the kerchop.
No.
Yeah, no. I gave him the kerchop.
I did too.
I was like, no. Yeah, I can't be with you. And then here comes Ron. And I was like, yep, I'll take the skinny bald one. He's for me.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's right. But I do agree with you.
It was like you were going shopping, right? Because you guys did the dating app thing.
Well, that wasn't me.
Swipe.
No.
Swipe.
That's Tinder.
Well, yeah, I know.
Isn't that Tinder? Oh, and we're going to talk about Tinder today, too.
Man, it's everything all in one.
Yes, but we didn't meet on Tinder. We met on Match.com. And actually, Maureen picked him out for me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys did for dating what Ken and I were doing for homes, right? When we were looking for homes in North Carolina, and we were still in New Jersey, and Ken had not gotten here yet, I was like, okay, I'm going to go and look at homes, and then I'm going to send you the pictures of the highlights. Because Ken didn't have time. He was working, So I was like, okay, Ken, check your email. I sent you 5 different homes that I'm okay with. You take a look and then see if you like them. That's kind of what we did.
Not very many married couples could do that, though.
Ooh, there's like a gnat.
Hey,
like,
that's my pet. That's my pet gnat. Don't kill it.
Here are 5 guys that I found for you today.
No.
Can you please pick from one?
It wasn't like that. She was on maternity leave, and I gave her my Match.com username and password that I gave to several other people, too.
Oh my God.
There were a few of us in that account. And she was on maternity leave, and she was looking around, and she found Ron.
This is what attorneys do during lunch.
That's right. She found Ron, and I was sitting at my desk drafting a pleading, and she called me, and I was on the clock, and she called me and said, you need to come over because I found the guy for you. And I said, I can't. I'm busy. I've got work to do. No, Joy. You need to come over. And she, in the nicest possible way, in her own way, harangued me a little until finally she tempted me with a home-cooked meal. And maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine. And she said, I found the guy for you. I had the couple of glasses of wine. And she said, here he is. And it was Ron. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him and thought, oh, look how cute. And she said, you need to email him. And I said, I'm not going to do it because he's in the military. And she said, no, you need to do it. And I said, I'm not going to do it. She said, well, what about if I do it? I said, well, fine. You go ahead and do it. So she's actually the one who sent the first email.
Oh, boy.
Then
this
after
is like
that, it was
Cyrano.
me, right? Well, but then
it really wasn't you having a conversation, was it? It was Maureen in your ear.
Well, I had stuff to do. I couldn't be bothered, but I did take note of the fact that he was very cute. So yeah, and then he responded, and his response was pretty funny. And then from then on, it was me.
So are you trying to say that he kind of really liked Maureen and her? I don't know, her demeanor, her tone, yes. And her email?
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
Wow.
It was very much like a Cyrano de Bergerac moment, except there was no middleman because it was online. So she just sat down at the computer and she just typed it out, and that was it.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I sat there having a drink. I was like, okay, you go right on ahead. And he responded pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Mm-hmm. Ken threatens Erin right now to buy her a Match.com subscription, but he picks the pictures and writes the thing and everything.
I think we all have to have a hand in writing her profile. This is appropriate because it's Valentine's Day coming up.
I think so. I think, you know what? That's a really good family sort of
activity.
activity.
Drafting a
We could do
online
that-
dating profile.
We could do that during our beach vacation, in August. Say, all right, everyone, sit down.
No,
okay.
no, because
Oldies
Erin
at
can't
the
be
end.
there.
What do you think?
Erin can't be there.
No, she can be over by the beach.
No.
And then when she comes back, go, what do you think?
And that's right. And it already has to be locked in stone so she can't make changes because that's how it's going to be. It'll be like that. Well, what about this? Or what about that? Or what about this? Yes, we all have to have a hand. We all do. In fact, I think I heard your phone ring and it was probably her.
Yeah, right?
But, okay, her ears are probably burning like, oh, they're talking about me. I know they are. As a final treat in our Valentine's Day special, I thought it would be fun to showcase Ron's marketing skills during Monday night dinner. Now, if any of you have ever seen the Jim Carrey movie, The Truman Show, you'll appreciate his random mid-dinner commercial. A life without laughter is what kind of life?
Right.
All right. Well, here's an opportunity for us to laugh at Ron a little. Okay. All right. So Ron is one of the, how do I say this? He's one of the instigators. Well, one of the moving forces behind this podcast, right? So he loves comedy. He likes jokes.
Right.
And he's always giving ideas, or he's always, hey, you should use this for the podcast, or you should do that.
So what you're saying is he's one of our contributors?
He's one of our contributors, although he'll never come on camera.
Right.
Which I think is kind of funny, but he won't do it, right? He'll never, ever come on camera. I don't know why, but because he's so cute. But he won't do it.
Maybe we can pay him in bananas. Maybe one day he can wear his gorilla suit.
No, I had to get rid of it because it was flea bitten.
Oh, gross.
I got him a Sasquatch suit.
Because that would be hysterical. He comes on. He's
got
at his suit.
He's got the gorilla mask on. Oh, that would be funny.
It'd
Maybe
be like
he will.
interviewing Elmo.
Oh.
Except he'd be in a gorilla outfit.
I don't know if Elmo has as much gas as Ron has, though. But
Well, they do have the same sort of humor.
that is true. That is true. But I see Ron kind of more like Oscar the Grouch, less like Elmo.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, except for,
So now you got him a Sasquatch outfit?
Yeah, I got him a Sasquatch outfit.
Hey, have you ever heard of Dr. Squatch?
Oh, Dr. Squatch. What,
wait.
What's Dr. Squatch, Juliet?
I forgot I did get it for him. Oh my God, it's so funny. So around the holidays, I'm always looking for something.
Well, he's hard to buy for.
Yeah. This year, you were the hard one, and I'm not quite sure why, but every year...
You gave me a gift card, a $50 gift card. Like a gift card to like Bath and Body Works, but like a $50 Visa gift card.
This way you could use it anywhere you want.
You know what we're going to do with it? We're going to go out and have dinner or something.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's good. But
I can't believe it. I opened up, what, a $50 gift card? What's this?
You got other little things.
I had to buy my own shirt.
You had to buy your own shirt. Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, Dr. Squatch.
It was on Facebook, maybe. I don't know. The girls are always like, don't ever buy anything on Facebook. But anyway, I did see that a couple of my friends had bought some stuff too. I was like, I wonder what this is. And it was rather funny because Ron's always Harry, whatever. But it's a whole line of men's either toiletries, right? Shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, that whole thing.
Did you take the shampoo out?
I did. I pulled the shampoo out because it was like a sample pack of all of their stuff.
He doesn't need the shampoo.
Some of their stuff. Yeah. So I was looking in it. The soap smelled really good. You know, all these like wine. No, not wine. It was like bourbon barrel something or other.
Or pine scented or,
all these, quote unquote,
masculine
guy
type things. Yeah.
Smells, right? So it was funny because then it's got this huge Sasquatch on it and it's called Dr. Squatch, which I just found hysterical. And I thought, oh, okay. I don't know that it completely beats out the Duluth underwear I bought him the year previous, but, hey.
That actually is pretty good.
That was funny. Too bad the waistbands are so tight on those.
I know, and he is skinny still, but...
I know. Even I got some for Ken. They're tight.
Yeah, they're tight.
They're
You got to
tight,
get
tight.
him a couple sizes up. 'cause
Yeah,
they're-
you do. You got to
yeah.
size up. But those
But
were hysterical.
They were hysterical. The Dr. Squatch toiletries are very, very funny. He's got a deodorant, 2 bars of soap, and some hand lotion, which now lives next to my girly hand lotion downstairs on the kitchen counter.
Nice.
Yes. It's very nice. But
yeah, I pulled the shampoo out of there because I was like, oh, that's a
doesn't
waste.
need it.
And I gave it to Ken. I put it in his stocking.
yes,
So he's using it on the 4 hairs he has.
I was going to say, Ken's not too far behind in the solar panel department, if you know what I'm saying.
He's like, oh, I like that. I'm like, really? He's like, well, there's lots of soaps out there that make your skin, your scalp feel good. So he's like, oh, this was all right. I'm like, okay, who knew?
Well, Dr. Squatch, apparently.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny that you do sort of like an impromptu commercial for Dr. Squatch there because it must run in your family.
I didn't.
Yes.
But okay, maybe if it did sound that way.
It kind of did sound that way.
Hi, the people of Dr. Squatch.
Yeah. We could use some sponsors, so please feel free. But, Ron, he's always thinking about the podcast and, oh, here's some things you could talk about or whatever. And so in the moment, I get what he's trying to do, but I did find it kind of funny. This is right around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And we just talked about getting Aaron on Match.com, right?
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
And we were actually talking about the girls using Tinder, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so here is what Ron had to say about Tinder. Okay.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Yeah.
I guess she didn't like the guy?
There wasn't really. I mean, he was a nice guy, she said, but
There's no spark.
yeah, no spark.
That's amazing. Because it's Tinder. Thank you.
Bump. Good for you. That's a good one.
This segment has been sponsored by Tinder.
What? Wait, what?
This segment has been sponsored by Tinder.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Okay, let's play it again.
Try again, yeah.
Bump. Good for you. That's a good one.
This segment has been sponsored by Tinder. Create the spark that ignites the flame. Only on Tinder. See? See how
Is that the actual
See how that works?
commercial?
Yeah, that's what I just found out.
Oh, God.
I should get into advertising.
I knew that. This is
Advertising.
The advertisement.
The advertisement. Nice. Well, you're welcome, Tinder.
Yeah, and you swallow it hook, line, and sinker,
I
right?
know, because I was like, is that
Now,
their slogan? No, man, I just made that
right.
up. Oh.
Well, now he's into this big AI kick, right? So he's like, oh, let me dial this into AI and see what comes out, right? I did think that was pretty funny. And you know how the last time we got together and we were talking about what makes funny moments, right? Well, that clip goes on and we start talking about The Truman Show.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's kind of like The Truman Show. You remember that movie with Jim Carrey? Mm-hmm. Where he doesn't realize it, but he's actually the star of a show.
Yeah. That I remember.
And the wife would periodically pick things up and do a little commercial.
That I don't remember.
I never saw that movie.
It was an interesting movie.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. Because then he finds out, and then he's
He
pissed.
figures it out.
Or yeah, he figures it out.
He figures it out because he keeps trying
And
to
doesn't he go
leave.
crazy? Not crazy,
No.
but he's so angry that he was like, "What?"
He just finally leaves.
Hmm.
But the whole world is watching this TV show that's about him.
Yeah.
You know? See, like us.
Like us.
It's a reality show.
Right. Yeah. Right. A reality show, but everybody inside the show, including his wife, they're paid actors.
Yeah.
And so, except we don't get paid.
I know, I was like, where's that payment?
They can't. Well, he keeps trying to leave.
Wait a minute.
And they won't let him leave.
Were we supposed to get paid? No.
They're like, there'll be a car accident, or the bridge is washed out, or something. This is like the Macaroni Truman Show.
The
Right here.
Macaroni Truman Show, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Other than the fact that all parties know they're being recorded.
Right. And nobody gets paid.
Right, and no one gets paid.
Right.
For real.
That's right. That's
Actually,
right.
you know what's so funny? is Ken has been starting to look at a lot of YouTube videos for woodworking, right? So he's really getting into woodworking. So the other day he was watching something on YouTube, woodworking. I guess it must be in the UK maybe or something. He's always saying, so like and subscribe. And thank you so much for all my coffee. And I'm like, coffee?
Buy me a coffee.
Like, buy me a coffee. Like, are they really buying him coffee? What are they sending him, like gift cards to Starbucks? Like, what? How does that work? And I think it was Caitlin that was like, no, that's kind of like
it's like a Patreon thing.
A Patreon thing. And I was like, what? What does that have to do with coffee? And she's like, no, because it's called
Buy Me a Coffee.
Buy Me a Coffee. Is it Buy Me a Coffee?
A lot of people do it on YouTube.
Oh, I did not know that at all because I had never heard about it.
It's
and Ken's
basically like
what's he need the coffee for? It's like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Wow.
But that was just funny because, at the end of ours, we're like, hey, like, share, and whatnot. And then, of course, the more you do that, the more content we can share with you. But he's like, hey, buy me a cup of coffee. And I was like, oh, hey, listener out in the middle of nowhere, buy me a cup of coffee, like and share. But it was just hysterical. And then Caitlin's like,
you people need to get out more.
Like, no.
Well, basically what that is, you set up the account and people can contribute small amounts of money to you.
Right.
It's like a Patreon account.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. And it was just hysterical because we were like, what? Ken and I were totally in the dark. We're like, what? What's with the coffee? I'm surprised they're doing coffee. Wouldn't it be more like tea? Because they're in Great Britain. So
Oh, my God.
They drink more tea. I'm surprised they're doing the coffee thing.
Juliet, you need to get out more. You really do. Well, I think maybe 3 of our 5 listeners would possibly send us $1 or $2. But I feel like we save that for when we get on the Tonight Show or whatever.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
One day. Maybe one day we'll put more stuff, too, in our little merch section, too.
Well, we got stuff in there.
We have to work on it.
We got stuff in there. We got T-shirts. We got coffee mugs.
I know.
We got stuff in there.
Caitlin was supposed to help us with the stickers, so I'll have to get her on that.
Yeah.
She's like, you need something that I can afford.
Something that I can afford.
Like afford, man. It's not like you're living in your car.
I know.
What's going on?
Well, it's been a wild one. It really has. But for now, I think we're just going to have to sign off, call it a day. And we hope you all had a happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
See, I said it right.
Well, listener, that's it for our 2024 Valentine's Day special. And how about that for Love Macaroni style, am I right? There's nothing like a mix of relationship advice, random international marital law, questionable surgical decisions, and a mini commercial during dinner to make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Aww. Believe it or not, these are pretty standard conversations around our dinner table and not just for the Valentine's Day holiday. And no, this episode was not sponsored by Tinder, but it should have been. We'll see you in the next one. This has been a public service bulletin from the Old Badger Institute telling you that that's it in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed listening and sharing a laugh or two with us. Stay tuned for more everyday macaroni adventures on future podcast episodes. And if you want to see some pictures of us, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching @everydaymacaroni or #everydaymacaroni. And now you can also watch us on YouTube. Just search Everyday Macaroni and our new channel will pop up. If you want to shop for some fun macaroni merch, head over to everydaymacaroni.com. Don't forget, if you have a blended family story to share, email us at info@everydaymacaroni.com and put the word share in the subject line. You can also call us on our macaroni fun phone at 919-729-2043. Your story might end up on a future episode, and how fun would that be? Super fun. Finally, don't forget to give us a good review and download your favorite episodes. A share would be nice too. The more interaction we get for the podcast, the more episodes we can post. Again, thanks for listening, and join us for the next episode of
Every day is macaroni.